Hello all, I'm Scott O'Neill and welcome to MPP Global Solutions exploration into the trends, best practices and strategies that fit the publishing industry. MPP Global Solutions are the leading provider of paywall technologies to the publishing media industries, with clients including the Times and the Telegraph Media Group. In this webinar, we will demonstrate different paywall implementations and share advice on protecting content, satisfying consumer demand, using offers and incentives. Just a couple of housekeeping pointers before we begin. We'll be stopping for breaks to answer questions over the course of the presentation. If you wish to ask your question, please click the icon and raise your hand, as demonstrated on screen now. Alternatively, type your question into the dialog box and we'll try to answer as many as possible. We'll also be conducting a couple of polls throughout the presentation. Please follow the simple instructions online and we'll share the results with you following the presentation. In today's webinar, we will tell you 3 things you need to know about paid content. We'll also give you some insight into the benefits of paywalls and demonstrate how the Times, the Telegraph and the New York Times are succeeding leading the way. Finally, we'll provide you with some takeaways and recommendation on paywall best practices. Let's start with 3 things you need to know about paid content. In the last year, a wide range of publishers have been experimenting with paid content. More and more, we are seeing the hard-gated paywall being replaced by an exciting open gate with glimpses of the content behind. Since the New York Times began metering access to its website more than 2 years ago, more than 400 daily newspapers across the US now have digital subscriptions. In a country of some 13,000 newspapers, it's a small amount, but the pace of change is fast. In the UK, the Times and the Sunday Times are beginning to see the benefits of their paywall, receiving incremental revenues. Paywalls for the UK newspaper and B2B publishing have become firmly established. There are already close to 500,000 people paying for digital subscriptions at the Financial Times and the Times alone. While pundits and the public watched to see how the New York Times model would be received, the rest of the industry wasn't waiting, and numerous publishers' organisations taking the plunge. Frustrated by sluggish advertising revenues, they moved decisively, often creating their own models and solutions. Aside from the financial contribution, the charging from content movement makes an important statement. News content has value, and the days of newspaper giving it away are numbered. The second thing I'd like you to be aware of is that reduced page views do not hurt revenues. Paywalls create the right incentives for quality. Charging creates a revenue stream that makes good journalism possible. It also imposes an obligation, an imperative even, to make the journalism good enough to motivate someone to actually pay for it. This makes an important statement to the industry. Your content has value, regardless of the platform. Paywalls add profit to your bottom line. Finally, once you understand what your customers want, you can use the power of paywalls to design pricing plans that meet their needs, which in turn strengthens your relationship with your customers. Loyal customers are the biggest supporters of paid online content, and they will support your efforts to change. They want you to succeed. We're now going to take a look at the benefits of paywalls. A paying reader has consciously picked the brand. They want this content and they have a different connection. They're also open to ads with a different intensity. More local, more qualified. You know who your customers are and you know what they're seeing on your site, meaning that advertisers can now be targeted to specific users. Subscribers often have more disposable income. Digital publishers can now leverage these advantages with their advertisers, supplying targeted direct advertising to users, and the advertisers will see the benefits. The quality of your user interactions will also improve, meaning your social content will be more engaging. We've already seen behind the paywall is a more loyal customer, and a publisher has a deeper relationship with them, meaning it is now possible to upsell content services. Making content ubiquitous is the key to drive uptake. Customers want to be able to access content anywhere on their mobile, tablet, PC. It's about providing a seamless experience to the customer, regardless of which channel they choose. Crucially, they want the ability to make changes to their account or subscriptions instantly, wherever they are. In order to make content ubiquitous, it is essential to centralize payments and entitlements. A paywall allows you to use offered incentives to encourage your users to pay more. With customers signed up to the core service and the payment account active, publishers now have the enviable benefit of putting their customers a click away from any other subscription or service. Centralizing payment accounts means that publishers can offer cross-device and cross-platform promotions and offers. Publishers can also offer digital versions of their print subscriptions to print subscribers free as a customer retention tool. Protecting your content using a strong metered paywall that is not easily defeated is key. The metered approach to paid access has been promoted by advocates as a way to maintain a large base of casual users, but identify those frequent users who revisit demonstrate they find value in the brand. By doing this, publishers should be able to maintain its traffic to a high enough percentage for large-scale advertisers, and still extract direct revenues from readers who most want the content and find the most value in the brand. So what's actually going on? The Times launched its paywall in July 2010. The Times is a hard paywall, meaning it allows minimal access to content without subscription. The Times offers various digital subscription plans to cater for different user demand. When Rupert Murdoch unveiled his paywall for online and mobile digital products, the coverage ranged from the ridiculous to the disbelief. The cries of "it will never work" are not so loud now. In July 2012, just 2 years after raising the wall, the number of digital subscribers is approaching 300,000. The Times paywall is proving to be a success, with resulting in increased revenues. The New York Times has pioneered the metered model. Non-subscribers are now able to view 10 articles per month before being asked to subscribe. Over 600,000 subscribers are now paying between $15 and $35 a month. For that price, they get unlimited access to the digital site and various mobile apps. In July 2012, the Times expanded its paywall plans to include full access to its content on the news syndication sites and apps such as Flipboard. As you can see here, the New York Times online paywall lets you read 10 articles per month before being asked to pay. Subscribers are indicated that they are approaching their limit by a dialog box in the bottom left-hand corner. After clicking through 10 articles on the site, access is blocked by a pop-up message politely requesting to subscribe to read more. So what's the verdict? It works. The New York Times Media Group has seen revenue growth since starting to introduce digital subscription plans. Thanks to its paywall, the New York Times collects on average 5,000 new subscribers each week. The metered paywall has also helped boost circulation revenues. The flagship paper now has 7.4% year-on-year increases in circulation revenues to over 200 million in the third quarter of 2012. The paper's circulation revenues from both print and combined overtook ad revenues for the first time in its history. Even the print edition has benefited. The Times announced in November that home delivery circulation had increased for the first time in 5 years, a bump that was attributed by more people willing to pay for a paper that also comes bundled with unlimited digital access. More than 2 years since its launch, the New York Times metered system is rapidly becoming the preferred method for newspaper subscriptions. It's clear the New York Times paywall is not only valuable, it has helped turn the paper's subscribers into dollars, into significant revenue generation for the business. The New York Times print and digital subscriptions are more intertwined than ever. The Telegraph paywall is similar to the New York Times, but allows a generous chunk of Telegraph material online for free. The Telegraph doesn't have a general paywall in the UK, but in November 2012 it began charging for access for international readers, and this will probably be expanded to domestic readers. This approach allows the Telegraph to develop the right revenue models with a smaller user base before offering them to wider UK subscribers. Readers can access 20 articles before being asked to pay $1.99 a month for subscription, or $9.99 including tablet access. But a word of caution, the evidence would suggest that 20 articles may be too high, and users will simply read 19 articles free each month. This is why the New York Times was forced to cut its free stories from 20 to 10 articles in order to drive uptake. Domestically, the Telegraph currently operates a joined-up strategy for print and digital apps across multiple platforms including Android and iOS. We're now going to be conducting a couple of polls. We'll share the answers to these polls with you following the webinar. If you can use the on-screen controls to select your answer from the multiple choice. The first question is, are you considering adopting a paywall? Okay, just a few more seconds now. I'm going to close this poll. Okay, question number 1 has been closed. Question 2. If so, which type are you considering adopting? Please again select your answer from the multiple choice. Thank you, I'll close that poll now. As we said, we'll share the results with you after the webinar. Here are some recommendations. Successful paywall implementation is about audience management, segmenting and targeting your audience offer at the right time. Content is king. Users have to value content. Content will retain impressions. Point having a leaky paywall. It's clear that these papers remain convinced that paywalls are the way to go. The basic facts are this. Online ad revenues aren't enough on their own to support the operation of a national newspaper. And the idea is gaining a lot of traction. I'll end with this quote from one of the leading management thinkers in the world, Clayton Christensen. If you have any questions, please either raise your hand now or we'll try to answer any questions after following the presentation. Okay, so we do have one question that's just come in from Phil. Phil's asking, how can we ensure we secure the paywall? Securing a paywall means having a paywall that's not easily defeated, that is not just simply cookie based, that uses both server-side and client-side technology, able to ensure the user can't simply delete their cookies. Having a hole in your paywall where users can just delete the cookies simply means that your paywall isn't good enough. Thanks for your question, Phil. If you need for your time, and as I said, if you want to get in touch to discuss any of the topics in more detail, please feel free to do so. Thank you very much and goodbye.